We have a very extensive library that's very unorganized, and a very, very, very extensive archive that has some organization, but it's still very old-fashioned in nature. But within that, we also have a lot of different curriculum from across the nation that are indigenous written curriculum, and in our own curriculums that we I don't think you pluralize that, but whatever. Curricula, thank you, that we've written ourselves as well, that are resources that teachers could have access to. Yes?
Yeah, the archives are somewhat of one of the greatest American Indians, Princess Redwing, who truly is such a magnificent person who did so much for this area. And it's really, the archives here are thrilling. She was the American Indian representative to the United Nations at the founding of the United Nations.
Yes, quite. Princess Redwing is very amazing. And we have lots of scholars and researchers that come. We have researchers, there's a new book out, I think it's called The 20 Most Notable Rhode Islanders, and that researcher came to Tomaquag Museum to learn more about Princess Redwing to put her in the book. There's other authors and filmmakers that have come to the museum to get documentation and information to do films about Native communities. I worked with an amazing, I'll call her a folk artist, a folk musician from Block Island that is writing folk songs about the Manistee people, and she wanted some more knowledge and background. So as you all are growing up and making decisions about your lives, if somehow or another it ends up in this historical context and you do some things about Native culture, the museum is a wonderful place to check some things. We're a very old-fashioned museum. We're trying to grow up in that department as far as being able to make the resources a little more easily accessible. But if you're really passionate about it and are willing to wait a little bit and dig a little bit, we usually can come up with some really interesting things that other folks that are doing research are using. And certainly college professors and college students do come see me. I'm probably interviewed somewhere upwards of about 20 times a year from various folks, but definitely there's a good cluster of college students in there, especially master's level students that are doing really rigorous research and wanting to have a first person perspective on it. So you can keep that in mind. We're very friendly, and sometimes I probably do more of that than I should because I use a lot of time doing it, but it's important. We want those voices out there. We want that perspective out there, so we give our time so that that can happen. And so that you can do your job better and represent our community better if that's what you're doing, if you're doing films or writings or books or thesis papers and whatever. We want you to do your best possible way. Thank you. Any other last questions? Well, I thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience.
Thanks for watching. This podcast series is presented by Tomaquag Museum. Visit our website at www.tomaquagmuseum.org. Support this and other great podcast content at our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/artways. The Indigenous Lifeways podcast is funded in part by the Rhode Island State Council on the Arts. Investment in arts and culture. Videography by Dana Nugent. Video editing by Dana Nugent and Michael Johnson. Music presented by Eagle and Hawk. www.eagleandhawk.com